What's up everybody, Jack Farr here on behalf of Box to Box Football with my weekly power rankings. Going to be a bit of a strange one this week. Obviously we do have some leagues where they haven't actually played games due to a winter break, something which the Premier League should probably have, but some of the teams have actually played. So without any further ado, let's get into it. First of all, Sevilla, new in at number 20. Some good solid wins recently. First of all against a struggling Valencia side, but then a decent Villarreal team. Sevilla are up to 4th now in Laliga. They have 2 games in hand. They should arguably be potentially a little bit higher on this list, but I still need to see a little bit more from them, I think. In at 19, Sporting Lisbon. Another win on the board, nothing too impressive, especially in the Portuguese league in which they're playing, but they deserve to retain their spot for me. In at 18, Celta Vigo. Draw against Getafe, but they're still unbeaten in 5 or 6 games, so very, very impressive. In at 17, Leicester City still holding their spot. 2 draws in a row. They definitely deserve some love kind of in the power rankings here, but the draw against Manchester United was pretty solid, but a little bit disappointing. They do hold on to 17th just about. In at 16, I have Rennes. 4 wins on the bounce in Liga. They definitely deserve some sort of credit in the power rankings here. I'm not sure how long it's going to last, but Rennes in 16th, new entry. Another new entry at 15, coming back onto the list is Manchester City. 2 pretty disappointing draws. I think everyone who watched the Manchester Derby game knew that certainly Manchester United were probably there to be taken, and Manchester City really did not push the envelope there, which was certainly very, very disappointing. But, you know, a couple of wins against that Southampton game that was very, very interesting. I know Ralph Hasenhüttl and Southampton definitely earned Pep Guardiola's respect in that game. And then also the 2-0 Newcastle game, they've righted some wrongs over the last couple of weeks. In at 14, got Aston Villa, undefeated in their last 5. Of those 5 games, 3 of them have been wins. They're 5th in the table with 2 games in hand. Very, very impressive for Villa and definitely maintaining this very, very solid run. 13, Rangers. Shocker. Rangers win again, and they also keep a clean sheet. You know, what's new? They're always going to retain about 13th, kind of in this power rankings. Like I say, they are not tested against the European elite, so I can't give them too much credit. I'm sorry, James. So 12 through to, I think, 8 here, I'm going to kind of cloud it all as the same topic. I feel kind of bad dropping these teams because they haven't had a chance to play and prove themselves and hold their spot or better their position. But obviously the teams that have played, I do need to be able to react to them, so especially some of the Premier League teams I'm talking about here. So apologies to Lyon, Lille, Leverkusen, Leipzig and Milan that are in that little bracket, but I do have to react to the teams that have played. Jumping all the way up to 7th, Everton are up 5 places. 4 wins in a row, especially against the likes of Leicester City, Arsenal and Chelsea. Very impressive from Carlo Ancelotti. I've been joined by a friend. In at 6, Manchester United up 2 places. They're very, very lucky to have won yesterday. The Wolves, as kind of a defensive performance, it's one of the more impressive defensive performances that I've ever seen. But if they can keep getting kind of lucky deflected goals, winning games late, some clean sheets starting to rack up as well, and if Liverpool keep dropping points against the likes of, you know, West Brom in this kind of very weird year, it could be a team like Manchester United that take advantage of it, especially if Liverpool don't buy some central defensive reinforcements in January. Which leads me on to, in 5th, Liverpool. They're down 2 spots. The West Brom draw was very disappointing. Obviously, they've dropped a couple of spots. I still think Liverpool are a very dangerous team. Still, for my money, the best team in the Premier League, despite losing the likes of Virgil van Dijk for the course of the year. But yeah. Inter Milan and Real Madrid in at 4 and 3. They haven't really played. But with that West Brom result for Liverpool, they do just jump above Liverpool. In at 2 and 1 again, Bayern Munich and Atletico Madrid. Sorry it's not the most dramatic power rankings this week, but as I said, a lot of the teams have not played. So very difficult for me to justify moving anybody around too drastically. Biggest risers being Everton, jumping up 5 spots with their impressive performances recently. And then just a couple of newer teams that have come in due to some poor performances from the likes of, say, Chelsea or Tottenham or somebody of that nature who's kind of fallen off the list over the last couple of weeks. Shorter video this week, not as much really to talk about here. Lots of teams kind of holding roughly the same position as the winter break takes place for leagues like SeriaA, Bundesliga, etc., etc. Let me know what you think. Obviously, not too much change here, so I don't know if you guys can be too critical, but let me know in the comments. Please like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.